at this stage, we're going in at half time 2-1, maybe a little bit lucky to still be in the game. As Bertie mentioned a little bit ago, we did make a tactical change at half time, everybody. And this is where we're going to probably have a little bit of an interesting discussion about it. And it's a shame he doesn't have a flip chart, because I'm sure he'll draw a nice little draw. You're all right there, mate? Sorry, have you got a flip chart? What's going on?
Sorry, just banging my head against the wall, just thinking about that tactical change.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's right. I've just done a Goldberg live on this channel.
I hope, for goodness, you haven't busted yourself open and got yourself a concussion.
No,
but
I'm fine.
Right. So here's where we're at now. Kivior, I thought, in the Premier League in the last few games has been doing absolutely fine at left back. But as I mentioned a little bit ago, this is the Champions League. And frankly, from what I've seen, I think he got found out a little bit, unfortunately. Now, had Tomiyasu been 100% completely clear and ready to go, yeah, I probably would have played him. But Mikel,
I would have played him regardless. I definitely would have put him on at half time instead of Zinchenko, I'm afraid. When you're trying to stop Bayern from scoring more, we need to solidify our defence, and bringing on someone who's going to leave a lot of gaps on the left-hand side where Leroy Sané is going to be, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Okay. But would you have agreed that Kivior needed to be taken out of the equation?
Yes, for Tomiyasu.
Right. So that's not what we did. That's not what Arteta did. He did bring on Zinchenko. Let's talk about that. Tomiyasu should have come on for Kivior, and Partey should have come on for Jorginho at half time. Are we all forgetting, everybody, that Tomiyasu and Thomas Partey have only just come back from injuries themselves? Had they made the early chance to bring them on and then just say they picked up a knock, it would have made the situation worse, for argument's sake, Posh Bertie.
Well, I agree, but that's all hypothetical, isn't it? You know, we don't know what may happen, but I would have rather put in an actual. Well, I say actual left back. He's a right back, isn't he? But he can definitely play it. Yeah. He can play either position. Let's be honest. I would have rather a proper left back who's just come back from injury, rather than a de facto midfielder at left back who's just going to drift into midfield and leave a big old gap on the left hand side. I'd rather the former option, in my opinion.
But just and I do get you, and for a large part of it, Posh, I do agree with you. But when you get Zinchenko on the field, it does give you an extra body in the midfield, which rather gives people like Declan Rice a little bit more chance to go a little bit further forward. It's very much a risk/reward situation for me. Whether it was the right call or not, I don't know. I'll say this: we didn't concede a goal in the second half. So whether that's luck or not, we'll get to. Don't worry.
Well, Kingsley Coman has entered the chat. That was all.
And we'll get to Kingsley. We'll get to him. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that.
I will say, I know a lot of people actually gave Zinchenko credit for how he controlled the midfield against Bayern. Okay, that's all well and good. He came on for a left back. He was meant to be a left back. And you're saying he was good in the midfield. Do you notice where the problem is? Do you notice where my concern is? So one bad mistake, if we did a similar mistake like we did in the first half on the left-hand side, and there's nobody there in that left back, and there was a big gap on the left-hand side because Zinchenko's drifting into midfield. Leroy Sané or Coman, whoever would have been on the left-hand side for Bayern, acres of space, would have had so much free time. One silly mistake, and it would have been an absolute nightmare on that left-hand side. That's what was worrying me, because Bayern have got they've got so much pace in that team that can easily have Zinchenko caught napping. Zinchenko did good at controlling the midfield. Great, play him in midfield. He is much better as a midfielder than he is as a left back. It's clear to see. That's why he plays in midfield for the Ukrainian national team. Anyway, over to you.
Thank you. I knew it'd create a bit of discussion, and I'm fine with that, because this is what this channel's all about. Look, whether it was the right call or not, I don't know. I'm playing for argument's sake, and for what it's worth, if I'm thinking we've got Aston Villa on Sunday, I'd probably, in this situation, play Zinchenko there, and I'd probably play on, let me get the days right. Is it Wednesday again?
It's in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time, you sure?
Oh no, you're right. It's on Wednesday. Yeah, you're right.
It's on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday. So in that case, my scenario works quite nicely then, because then I'd say I'd probably play Tomiyasu at left back another week down the line, and then he will play as a disciplined left back in Germany, which I think we're going to need. I think against Aston Villa, I wasn't going to touch on Aston Villa, but I will do briefly. An Aston Villa side that's going to be missing Douglas Luiz, for example, maybe in a situation where we're going to have a bit more of the ball, perhaps Zinchenko will probably be used more as a midfield player in that game. But I get your point, and I know
I wouldn't start Zinchenko against Villa either. Villa are also a team, the likes of Leon Bailey, Ollie Watkins, Moussa Diaby, all those players. I would either. I know I criticise Kivior, but I'd rather him over Zinchenko at left back. I'd start Kivior at left back against Villa, and I'd start Tomiyasu at left back against Bayern Munich. If I was going to play Zinchenko, I'd play him in midfield. I'm sorry, but when it comes to games against a very good Villa side and Bayern Munich, you can't get away with. It's a huge risk to do the inverted style of play. You can get away with it at home to teams like Luton or Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Not against teams like Bayern or an incredible Aston Villa side. So that's where that's my opinion there.
That's absolutely fine, Bosch. I completely respect your opinion. I was giving you my thoughts as well. Now, I think something that I probably need to speak about now is something you'll be able to talk to me a little bit more than I can about. Tell me this incident that happened. There's two incidents I need to talk about. Actual fact, we need to talk about the Harry Kane flying elbow, and we need to talk about the mess that was David Raya and Gabriel and a handball. Can you take the reins from here, please?
So Harry Kane, from what I just gathered, I don't think whether he saw Gabriel was there or not, I don't know. But I think Gabriel was marking him. And it was, shades of Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam that one time. It was a big old elbow, right in the, not even in the jaw, in the neck, in the larynx, which, you don't want to do that because you might not be able to talk for a few days.
Triple H.
I thought it was really reckless from Harry Kane there, but whether it should have been a straight red, I don't know. But I don't. That's not even the biggest incident of the whole game. I'm too busy thinking about
the first quarter, this elbow bit, yeah.
Yeah, it should have been a red card. I can see why, but I don't know. I wasn't even.
Well,
It wasn't even the last. It was. It was. It was one of the last things on my mind, considering some of the other incidents that happened. But
okay.
yeah, it was. He got away with it there, I think. Old Harold.
Well, it's not the first time he's been accused of being an aggressive player. From the clip, and it's not the best clip that I've seen, but it does look to me that he's up there. He goes like this, looks behind him,
Okay.
and then he goes like that, and he elbows him. And I think it was a bit naughty myself. But then I'd expect nothing less from Harold Cade. But then, of course, the referee looked at it, and I guess they went through all the procedures. So, you have to believe in the system, right?
Can I just say, I want to give Harry Kane a bit of credit. I can say this because I can give him credit because he doesn't play for Tottenham anymore, so I can say it with a bit more ease. I thought apart from that elbow incident, he was one of Bayern's best players, not just as a goal scorer but as a footballer as well. He was really good. So yeah. If we played Tottenham and he was playing for Tottenham, I wouldn't be saying that. But yeah, I thought I thought he was really good apart from the elbow.
Would you say he probably put up a more of a threat than say Holland the other week?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the biggest bit of credit you can give to him, really, because he did give our lads around the back plenty of hard times. And yes, I deliberately said that because of the wrestling. But but moving swiftly on from that, would you like to talk to me about what on earth happened here?
So I didn't see this originally when I was watching the game, but so the goal kick was happening. The ref blew his whistle to say, okay, you can take the goal kick.
Right.
And then this happened. There must have been some element of confusion because did they hear the whistle or not? I don't know. But either way, that is a handball during a goal kick when the whistle has already blown. That should have been, whether you like it or not, Bayern should have been awarded a penalty there. And there is another incident which we will talk about.
Yeah.
That incident there, the handball, is a bigger miscarriage of justice than the incident in the last kick of the game. Just my opinion. Both teams have every right to complain and say we were robbed. Not just Arsenal. And no Arsenal fan is taking any notice of it, by the way. When this is it, I'm just saying, this was look.
So and complete, transparency with everyone who's watching us now and on demand. Look, I haven't seen the whole 90 minutes. I didn't because I don't have the subscription for TNT. But when I saw this clip come up, and I looked at it, and I literally WhatsApp messaged this fine man to my right, and I said something on the lines of, "What the fudge was this? It's just ridiculous." It's the I mean, a lot of channels are leading with the injustice and Saka was taken out and all this sort of stuff. But hold on a minute. Yeah, hold on a minute. This is just ridiculous.
Hold on a minute, player.
Let me tell you something. We'll have a tag team match just to sort it out. No. We can't help ourselves, Posh. We need to get serious for a minute, all right? So
we'll get to that in a minute, Molo.
100%, we will do. Let's us. There's 2 points, two sort of questions I will ask you here, and I think you will absolutely flourish in this situation because I know it's a subject that's very close to your heart. Okay, so the equaliser coming, of course, on the 76th minute, all came from it was a Bayern throw on, actually, intercepted by, of course, Ben White again. Now a little bit of interplay between Declan Rice and Saka, who found Jesus. He came on the substitute, and he set up Leandro Trossard, whose confident, classy finish from 12 yards beat Manuel Neuer. This is your time to shine, my boy. Tell me about the goal and some of the criticism that Trossard has got, which I think is quite unjust. I want you to just tell the people why I think Leandro Trossard needs a bit of respect on his name, please.
Because he is a big game player. Look at the goal that he scored against Liverpool as well. Right moment at the right time. He scored a couple of goals in the Champions League as well. Porto as well, let's not forget. That was a crucial goal. And this crucial goal against Bayern to make it 2-2, like we were back in the game. Honestly, and he is, as I said, a big game player. He can turn up and deliver the goods when it needs be. And yeah, I have seen Trossard get a lot of unfair criticism simply because he isn't Martinelli and he is not fast like Martinelli. Well, they are, as I have mentioned time and time again on this channel, they are different types of players. Yes, Martinelli, he is a good player and he is a very pacey player. But Trossard, whilst as a winger, he gives you technical ability and he gives you a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Oomph is the word I think I'm looking for. He's technical ability and something else. But yeah, creativity, that's it.
I think his technical ability on the ball as well. I mean, where Martinelli is quite direct with his running and his pace, I think Trossard gives you a bit more of a considered approach, and his skills, tactical sense, and all that sort of stuff. He can do stuff that's absolutely ridiculous. I'll refer back again, like you said, to the Liverpool game where he created all that last goal in the game on that left-hand side, all on his own. An absolute sensational goal. And, yeah, absolutely agree. Right.
And also, can I just say, where was Martinelli as well today? Where was Martinelli? He had a bit of a quiet game, in my opinion.
It was quiet yesterday. Yes, you're right. And indeed, Molo...
I like Martinelli, don't get me wrong, but he had a bit of a quiet game. Martinelli should not be playing if he's carrying an injury. If he's still carrying an injury, then that might be a cause for concern, but I don't know about that.
I don't know if he is carrying the injury. That's the thing. I think he's recovered from the injury. I think he's getting himself... we talk about getting into... we talk about ring rustiness and all that sort of stuff. I think that's what he looked. He looked a little bit less sharp than he needed to be. Perhaps we might see a little bit better against Aston Villa, say. We'll see if he selects them. And again, he did play a fair chunk of the game. Let's see how he responds after playing that time. That's the first time I think he's played in probably close to about a month. It's got to be. Has to be.
Yeah, I think so. First time he started in over a month.
Yeah, exactly. That extended bit of game time. It's much like I was talking about with Emil Smith Rowe, right? And that he played that, bit of game time in the midweek fixture against Luton, and then I want to see how he recovers afterwards. Maybe same sort of situation here with Martinelli. Don't get me wrong, I think Martinelli's normally a starter for me. I think we get the best out of Trossard when he comes off the bench. but I see value in both players. Absolutely right. For all our good work, Posh, and to get back into the game at 2-2, and yes, 2-2, not great, not ideal score, but it is level. And I'll just remind you, of course, the away goals rule is defunct. It is gone. Benito, it is out of here. It would have been a real kick in the teeth had Kingsley Coman's shot actually went between the posts and not hitting the post and hitting Raya, wouldn't it?
We got out of jail free there. That was lucky. But thank God he hit the post. And this is why I said in the first half Ben White was a very good player, because he was nowhere to be seen when he was where he was meant to be marking Coman. And unmarked, and thank the Lord he hit the post. And thank God the away goals don't count anymore. Yes. And even though I like to drift away from the whole "we were screwed" agenda, we were screwed over with that away goals rule a lot. Monaco, even Bayern Munich in 2013. Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Man, thankfully, the people that run the game saw beyond that outdated rule, and we're going to go to Munich on a level playing field, but it could have been very different. Let's talk about injury time, shall we? Let's talk about the last kick of the game, the penalty shout. Thomas Partey, who I've said consistently over the last couple of weeks now, coming back into the side, that Partey will have a part to play. I don't know if it's necessarily a starting place in the lineup, but you certainly have a part to play in us challenging both on the Premier League front and here in the Champions League. But yes, Partey certainly was involved in the play here, found Saka, who got beyond the defenders, and then came the big challenge from Manuel Neuer. Referee immediately said no penalty. Went to VAR and no penalty given, and the whistle was blown. Bertie won this. Watch Bertie. Tell me, was it or was it not?
I want to say well done to the referee. That was the correct decision. Bukayo Saka has himself to blame for this. All he had to do was go around Neuer, go around the keeper, and unless he was scared that he was going to do a Fernando Torres versus Man United that one time, then that's the reason why he didn't. Yeah. But all he had to do, go around the keeper, slide it home, and Saka would have been the hero of the entire game. Star boy and everything. He outdid all of his good work, I'm afraid, in that game. Because before this, I thought he played quite well. I thought he was really good, especially the first goal that he scored. That was a quality finish. And then he had to just try and recklessly get a penalty. It wasn't a penalty, in my opinion. And as Molo says, Saka flicked his leg out and made the contact. I think Neuer as well. There was debate on he must have. I think they both did it. But Saka, right. I know I can't obviously put a video up here for it. But the way Saka landed first. Now, obviously, I won't be able to do this because I am not a professional footballer and Saka is a bit more athletically gifted than I am, just a bit. But the way Saka was going to land originally, it was in a position where he could get back up on his own 2 feet. Yeah. But he chose not to. Yeah. He chose, I think he well, this is a very British phrase. He over-egged the pudding. He over-egged the pudding.
That's
and
one
he
Tom
tried
Campbell
to,
would have said.
yes, he tried to get a penalty, but
Yeah.
he shouldn't have done that. He should have gone round Neuer. It was a silly decision from Saka, and it was just the referee, I'm afraid, was right to not give that a penalty. But don't take that from me. Take it from people like Ian Wright. He thought it wasn't a penalty. Thierry Henry said it wasn't a penalty. You know, I think even I can't think of any other big names at the top of my head, but a lot of people would have said that's not a penalty. But we've got to have this narrative, haven't we, that in games where we don't win, we're always robbed by the PGMOL or the European officials or whatever. Now, yes, there have been some controversial decisions against us. I know that. But that itself isn't to blame for how we performed in those particular games. Take Newcastle, for example. That infamous goal that was scored,
right,
did not have anything to do. That wasn't the fault of us having one shot on target that whole game, right? So, what I'm trying to say is, you can spin a narrative all you want that we were screwed over, we were robbed, it's the Emirates screw job or whatever. No, Saka screwed Saka. Mic drop.
Okay.
And that, the more
Thank
the
you very much for that. That's going to be a good
biggest
short
controversy is this. This was more of a bigger controversy and more of a bigger, as I said, miscarriage of justice than that for Arsenal. Don't shoot the messenger, but that's just my opinion.
I think the biggest surprise out of this whole situation, Posh, is I think I agree with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, I don't know if it was. I know, look, it was late in the game and all that sort of thing, and I don't know if the fatigue and everything was taking over, but I think when Saka got past Neuer, he could have hurdled him. Whether the brain said one thing and the body said another, perhaps that's the situation. It looked to me like he kind of jumped into Neuer. It ain't Neuer's first rodeo either, by the way. So, look, they looked at it real careful, and I personally think the right call was made. I'm afraid, as much as I want to throw my red shirt on it and say, yeah, come on, it was definitely a penalty, I think Bertie has actually summed it up perfectly. What it does do, ladies and gentlemen, it leaves us to a very difficult couple of games coming up. I mean, physically, how they will recover to go against, as Bertie's already mentioned in this stream, a very, very good Aston Villa side on Sunday. Side note, I will be live. I don't know if any of the team will be joining me, but I will be live, possibly solo commentary at 4:20 on Sunday. Yes, I said 4:20.
Rob Van Dam. Anyway, So I don't think I will be there for the vast majority of the game. So if you're going to blame anyone for that, blame my mum for being born in mid-April. It is her birthday tomorrow.
Have a go at Mrs. Wonderless.
It is her birthday. It's her birthday tomorrow, by the way. So happy birthday to the posh Bertie's mum. There we go.
All together now, everybody. I want you to sing along in the chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Rebecca. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
You called your mother your first name. Yes. That's ridiculous.
Yes. Being formal.
Have some respect.
Being formal. Anyway, Molo says, I know this is not football related. Oh, tell me what The Rock said to Cody, what it meant when he said we'll have something for you. We'll talk about the football for now.
Yeah, let's get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in a
Yeah.
minute. Right, so we're setting ourselves up for Aston Villa on Sunday. A very tricky second leg, not a question of doubt in my mind over that one on Wednesday. A little bit of breaking news. You coming down with a bit of a cold there, Bosh? You all right,
Sorry.
mate?
Yeah. I apologise.
No worries.
You may have seen me.
I was
You may have
concerned
seen me.
about your welfare.
No, I'm risking my body for your entertainment.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
We appreciate you, Posh Bertie, making the entertainment for the millions today. Breaking news, and within the last sort of hour or so, Fabrizio Romano did tweet out that Serge Gnabry did sustain a hamstring strain during the game. So whether that will rule him out for the second leg or not, we shall definitely see. I hope it's not COVID. You've gone down with that a couple of times, haven't you, mate?
No, only once, and that was March last year. Apart from that, it's just been the old sniffles. That's the only symptom I have. Don't worry. I'm not going to go around infecting everyone.
He's a man. He's a real man's man. He will get it going.
Been there, done that.
He will fight the good fight for Gooner Gathering. So that's why he's here tonight. So yeah, that just about covers it. Yeah, let's just give you a little bit of an update in terms of one other thing that I need to talk about. I won't spoil it because Matt Roberts is going to prepare a video for us in terms of the Lionesses who played against Republic of Ireland last night. So that will come up on the channel potentially tomorrow. Right, let's address Molo's comment in the chat about the wrestling, shall we? Because I think we're pretty much done with the footballing content. Let's just get the nonsense ready now, shall we?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's not...
And this is not football related.
Yeah. Take it.
Can you tell me what the Rock said to Cody or what it meant when he said, I've got something for you? I don't know. He gave him something on Raw. By the way, that segment took about the entire length of the episode, didn't it?
45 minutes. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I know. You can't complain. I don't know what it was. We'll probably find out down the road. You know what I think it was?
It was a lighter. Cody's bus went up a light on the Friday, didn't it?
Oh, okay.
Don't break my heart again. Don't go and spoil my dreams by, destroying my image of WrestleMania. Roman against Rock, family against family. Don't do that again. Don't go against my plans. Burn.
When would the Rock ever do something like that? But yeah, look. Oh, I will. As mentioned, WrestleMania was fantastic, and yeah,
absolutely sensational. And I don't want to cut you off or anything, but I would say the best place to talk about the wrestling will probably be with our friends over on Wrestle Dogs on their YouTube channel. I know Sam Wilson is trying to get a show together, and it's been a bit of a logistical nightmare getting everybody on board because of life and Gooner Gathering commitments, of course, as well. But just keep an eye on their channel because they're doing fantastic stuff over there. There's the cheap plug done. You're welcome. So I reckon, Posh, that will just about do us for now, unless there's anything else you want to say and anything you want to plug before we go off air, sir.
Yes, I've completely forgotten. I want to give Odegaard a lot of credit during the Arsenal Bayern game because he was actually, throughout the game, one of our better players. There's always been a bit of debate, including from people like me, saying that he tends to disappear in big games. Ghostergaard, people have called him. But in this game, he definitely turned up. Didn't score, I know, but I thought off the ball and even on the ball, I think he was fantastic and he was one of our best. better players on the pitch last night. So I want to give him a lot of credit there because we didn't talk about him tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I won't put my boy under any pressure here with I know we were talking about Football Manager 2024.
Yeah.
But if you've got the sniffles and stuff like that, we'll see how you get on. And if Bertie will let me know, then I will put a tweet out on our X page, and then I'll let the people know. So I'm not going to put any pressure on them.
We'll talk about this when we go off air.
And of course, the lad's got to watch cricket as well, so you have to bear that in mind as well.
Essentials and everything.
Exactly. One of the last comments for the night. So Cody ends his story with Reigns, but the story is just starting for The Rock and Cody. And it probably will go all the way to WrestleMania next year,
or maybe SummerSlam, or who knows? Maybe The Rock will come to Glasgow in June.
And Mollo, yes, you're absolutely right. We intended to go live on YouTube about an hour and 15 minutes ago. We went live, and I see there was a problem with the YouTube link on StreamYard. That's why we are currently broadcasting here on Twitch and on X. So apologies for our regular viewers on YouTube who would have expected to see us on Wednesday evening. I don't know when this stream will go out on YouTube. I'll try and get it out as soon as I can. Maybe if it's going to be an overnight thing, I know the StreamYard engineers are looking at it right at this moment. So apologies to our YouTube fan base who would have been expecting us tonight. Thank you all for joining us here on Twitch and on X this evening. In terms of content coming up from the channel, again, Bertie, I'm not going to put any pressure on him at all. What I will say is expect a video from Matt Roberts anytime, probably in 24 hours or so, coming up for the Lionesses, and a little thought on Rachel Daly retiring from international football. On Sunday, I will be in place at 4:20 in the afternoon. That's summertime in Britain. And then, we'll go from there. I think we'll do a review stream, but it might be Bertie or one of the other team in place for that one on Monday. But I think that is just about it from us today. Curtis Shaw, big journalist there. I know Curtis Shaw has had to cancel his watch along for PSG against Barcelona. Well, us big name streamers are having issues this evening. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to thank Posh Bertie for his guidance and his presence on the stream this evening. It's always appreciated, sir. And where can they find you on your social media pages, please?
Well, you can find me on Twitter or X at Posh Bertie. My Instagram is at Bertie Wanless, and I also run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account. Our last 3 posts have been about us reacting to Kai Havertz.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, particularly to Mollo, who's been in the Twitch chat this evening. And you can find me at Goonerly Mead. You can find the channel at Gooner Gathering. Again, thank you for your patience this evening, everybody, or whenever this goes out on the YouTube channel as well. Hopefully normal service will be resumed in a few days. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. We are out of here. Take care, everyone.